Hey everyone, my name is Terrell and welcome to my channel. Now, with this video, this is going to be the first in a string of videos where I basically just add commentary to each and every episode of Charmed. And I'll be sharing with you my thoughts on whatever episode that I'm watching. And I encourage you to share your thoughts with me in the comment section down below. I always love hearing from you, and I always love engaging with fellow nerds and geeks and geekettes and blurs and fellow charmed ones, particularly fellow charmed ones, because we love this show so much. It means so much to us. For me, let me give you a little bit of a backstory as to how I got spellbound by Charmed. Now, I was 15 years old, and this was Thursday, September 30th, 1999. I got sent to the hospital with an eye infection. I was in the children's hospital for 3 days. Now, the first of those 3 days was September 30th, 1999, and it just so happened to be the day that the second season of Charmed premiered. And I had always seen Charmed on before, but because me and my brother shared a room and we shared a TV, I had to watch wrestling and sports and stuff whenever Charmed was on, so I never got a chance to actually sit down and watch it. But I would see clips of it and previews for episodes, but I never got to watch it until I got sent to the hospital and I had to stay there, and I only had 3 channels in my room, and on 2 of those channels was the news. And kids, we hate the news, so it doesn't mean anything to us. But magic, sorcery, good villains, and good versus evil, heroes and villains, all that stuff. We love all that stuff. I suck it all up like it's a cold sugary drink on a hot day. And so I was just completely sucked into the show by its dark tone. I love the strong female things. I grew up around a lot of strong females, and Charmed was just great. The characters were great. Everything about it was great, and it still is. It still holds up to this day. Not necessarily the CGI, but the themes and the lessons, they all still hold up to this day. I am better because Charmed existed, and I'm going to only become better because I just keep getting to rewatch episodes of Charmed, and the lessons that were taught to me way back then will continuously be reinforced over and over and over again into my brain to help keep me on the right track. So yeah, how'd you get spellbound by Charmed? And who were your favorite characters? What's your favorite episode? What's your favorite power or powers? Again, share your thoughts in the comment section below. And before we begin, I want to just say that this is not going to be the kind of reaction video where I'm just watching the show and only talking briefly. I'm going to be talking over this entire episode. I'll try not to annoy you, but this is just a strictly commentary video, and basically as if I was just watching it and reviewing it in a way. But I'll be reviewing each episode for the millionth time technically. So yeah, this is going to be a strictly commentary video, so I'm going to have fun talking about the show as it plays. I'll do my best to add in a few clips here and there, but I can't add too many because of copyright laws and whatnot. But I'll do my best just to keep you abreast as to where I am in each episode. Now, also, I would like to ask if you do me a favor and give this video a like, and also subscribe to my channel and ring that bell too, so that you can get notified whenever I post a new video, like this one or a different one. And if you'd like to support this channel to help it grow and to help allow me to do other things with this channel, please do me a favor and click on the PayPal link in the description box down below and send whatever you can. I greatly appreciate all of you who have, and all of you that will consider doing so as well. Thank you so much. Thank you very kindly, and blessed be. And what else before we begin? Oh yes. One of the reasons that I thought to do this type of video and this series of videos is because my 3 or 4 different Charmed related videos on my channel have my highest view count. The one where I teach people how to orb with my graphic design. With my graphic design and animation skills, I orb. And then in my highest viewed video, I took a trip to the Charmed house and was given a private tour by the owners, and it was just so great, and they were great. So I'll leave a link in the description box to those videos as well down below. to gain more subscribers, and I would love to engage with you all more as well. So I thought to myself, let me just do a video where I just add commentary to each episode of Charmed and invite other people to share their thoughts with me as well, and teach me some stuff. Hopefully I teach you some stuff as well, and we just have a good time rewatching our favorite show, my favorite show. Anyway, and yeah, so I said, let me just do this, and so this is why I'm doing this, and I hope to get to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. But at 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to do a live video chat, and hopefully, and I would love to be able to live stream my reaction to a future Charmed episode while you all comment with me, while you all comment in real time as I'm watching it. So that'll be so cool, so cool. So super cool. So yes, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please. I greatly appreciate it. All right, here we go in the power of 3, 2, 1. Bing! Oh, it's raining, it's raining. Oh my god, a taxi. Remember those? Oh wow, this woman looks like a younger version of Martha Stewart. I never noticed that till now. Her familiar is really pretty. I wonder if it's the same cat that plays Kit in the earlier seasons. She could totally be Martha Stewart. Well, back then she could. This is from 24 years ago, so I don't know if she still looks like this. I'm sure she's still beautiful. Oh, here comes the killer. As we all know, it's Jeremy. But I wonder if the person in this trench coat is the actor who plays Jeremy, or if it's just like a stunt guy or something. So I'm guessing she has pyrokinesis, and she's just touching the candles and igniting them. Kit's like, oh, the killer's here, let me get out of here. This is why I tell people, lock your windows and your doors. You may feel like you're in a safe neighborhood, but you're still a part of this world, and there are many killers in this world. And they mainly strike the homes in nice areas because people just think that they can just leave their doors unlocked. I'm like, haven't you guys ever watched the ID Network? Come on now. I'm here to kill you. Mission complete. That death was so 90s, wasn't it? Oh, and here is the first of our sisters running up to the Halliwell Manor here in Los Angeles, again, not in San Francisco. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most powerful witch of them all? Piper. Fun fact, Holly Marie Combs is the only one of the leads who was in every single episode of Charmed, including the unaired pilot. Look at Shannon. Holly was the only one that I didn't know anything about. I had no idea she was on picket fences, and but sometime into me watching season 2 of Charmed, I saw her in a Lifetime movie where her mom was being abused by the mom's younger boyfriend. The younger boyfriend was using the mom, and I think he ended up killing her. And Holly Marie Combs was the daughter who got justice for her mom, I believe. She was so fierce. That was such a good movie. Such a good movie. Look at the Ouija board. The power of 3 will set you free. You know, I never used the Ouija board, have you? And has anything supernatural happened because of it? I remember when I first started watching this, I thought Holly was the least charismatic one of the 3. And she ended up becoming my favorite of the sisters. Now, of the actresses, Alyssa Milano is my favorite. She's my second favorite TV actress of all time, right behind Heather Locklear. So Alyssa is definitely my favorite of the actresses. But I still love all the actresses, even Rose. Some people say a lot about Rose. They say she went cuckoo crazy, and maybe she has in a little, but she's been through some things. So, but I still love Rose. I think she's a tough cookie. I think I think everything that we all go through can make us seem a bit crazy or whatever. Um, but I think if you are truly a good person and whatnot, your goodness shines through. And the people who like you will like you. The ones who won't. And so whatever. I like Rose. I love all the sisters, all the actresses. I miss the intro, the original intro song. Um, Eric Scott Woods. That must be Jeremy. Matthew Ashford. Now Matthew Ashford, Prue's boss with the glasses, he played on Days of Our Lives, my favorite soap opera of all time. Favorite daytime soap opera of all time. My favorite nighttime one is Melrose Place, which Alyssa starred in. She's in my two favorite shows of all time, Charmed and Melrose Place. Both executive produced by Aaron Spelling. His first name is my middle name. Andy and Daryl are probably the two hottest guys on this show. I love Brian too, but or Leo too, but I think Daryl is the hottest. His body is like insane. At least it used to be. And I met Ted King. I met Andy at a camera shop in early 2018. He was so nice. We took a picture together. I'll try to add it into the video. Oh, there's Jeremy. Piper just told Prue Phoebe's coming home. Prue's not happy. God, these ladies are such great actresses. Phoebe's home. Surprise. Alyssa is such a better choice than the other lady who was playing Phoebe. I forget her name. But the other lady, she seemed more like the older sister. And Phoebe, she didn't have the childlike charm and joy and badassery as Alyssa Milano. Look at their haircuts. Oh man. Yeah, let's talk about what's really bothering you, Prue. Oh, here's Piper trying to be the mediator. Oh my god, look at that TV. And not it being on Channel 3 too. Channel 3 is such like a news channel, like anywhere you go it seems. Turn it on Channel 3. It's so funny that the characters of Phoebe and Prue on the first episode, their whole thing started our introduction into who they are started with them bickering, having a lot of this tension between them. And then Shannon's end in the show happened because of her the differences she had with Alyssa Milano. Apparently Alyssa was the problem. So a lot of you beat up Shannon over the years, but apparently Alyssa was the problem. And she apologized for how she used to be. So, but we still don't know all the deets. I want to know all the deets, all the juicy deets as to what happened behind Charmed. They should come out with some kind of a documentary or book called like Behind the Magic or something, or Secrets in the Shadows. Oh, Andy's trying too hard to believe, or to get Daryl to believe in witches. Is so funny. I'm like, Andy, you don't try too hard. He'll start believing soon enough. Oh, the Triquetra. Okay, they're about to use the Ouija board, or they're using it now. Wow, they were so young back then. It's so cool to see. I haven't seen this first episode in a long time. Oh, it's moving. The planchette is moving. Attic. Oh, here we go. Time to find the Book of Shadows. And of course the power goes out. I love the dark undertone of these first 4 series, and I believe it's it's due to Constance Imberge, her influence on the show, because she was the showrunner. And when she left, we noticed the difference. I missed it so much. I missed what she brought to the show so much. Oh, the phone. Look at a house phone. I forgot about those. Now, when I did my tour of the Charmed house, the owners took me upstairs to their attic in their house, and they showed me that it was their attic that was used in the first episode of Charmed when Phoebe found the Book of Shadows. And I actually incorporated this scene, a little bit of this scene right here, into that video to show the parallels between us walking into the attic and then Phoebe walking into the attic. I got to see the real attic that this first episode was shot in. It was so cool, so cool. Look at that Afghan. I crochet a lot too, so I notice all the Afghans in all these shows. They're so cool. Wow, look at Alyssa. She was so young, but she still looks so beautiful. She'll always be beautiful. Always. Her whole family is beautiful. Oh, look at the moonlight shining on the chest, of course. So dramatic. I never noticed the scar she has above her belly button. I just saw that. I have a Book of Shadows replica. It's in my storage unit. I'll bring it for a future video. For a future episode of Charmed that I had commentary on. Here we go. Hear now the words of the witches, the secrets we hid in the night. The oldest of gods are invoked here. The great work of magic is sought. In this night and in this hour, I call upon the ancient power. Bring your powers to we sisters 3. We want the power. Give us the power. Give us the power. I remember it from the top of my head. Oh, there's the chandelier. Now, when I went into the house, the real house, and I saw the chandelier, I was a little bit disappointed. But I know that the living room on the show was built on a set and whatnot. That's why it's so spacious on the show, because they need to make room for the camera people to move around in. Look at that window. That window is even more beautiful in person. It's just huge. And I'm 6'2", so there was so much room above me to walk in. Oh, they look so... I always love seeing them stand together, even when they're arguing. Oh, there's the killer. I love how Prue's blaming everything on Phoebe, including like the power outage and everything. I wonder how old each of the women were when they shot this show. That's one thing I always forgot to look up, so I'll try to remember to do that as I watch it. I could just do it now. Oh, I can't because my phone is recording this, so... Oh, there's the Golden Gate Bridge. Man, I swore this show was shot in San Francisco. I swore it was back in the day. I had no idea that it was in LA. Phoebe said, according to the book, one of our ancestors was a witch. I'm like, a whole lot of them were. Oh, I love how Phoebe is like just rolling with the witch thing. She's not even like considering that it may be just all be BS. And Piper's like, look, I gotta go to work. We can talk about this later. Now there's Matthew Ashford. He plays Jack Devereaux on Days of Our Lives. Now, by the time this show came out, he stopped playing the role of Jack, and another actor named Mark Valley took over the role. And Mark was the very first Jack that I saw when I started watching Days of Our Lives. And then later on, when Mark left the show, or he got killed, his Jack got killed. Then when Jack came back from the dead, the role was reprised by Matthew Ashford. And then I later found out that Matthew was the original Jack. Or the most well-known of the early versions of Jack, anyway. I always thought he was so attractive, too. He has the whole cute, nerdy thing. Roger was such a jerk in the show. I mean, Jack. I'm not Jack. Matthew. His character is such a jerk in the show. I forgot she made the ink explode. Oh, here's where Piper first uses her power. It's so cool to see her arc, her character arc. She started off as being this nervous, anxious, busy, just kind of, just kind of getting her footing kind of person, kind of nerdy. And then she evolved into this confident, badass witch in the best way. Look at, she stopped time without even realizing. These actors were so good when they had to pause whenever she used her powers. And look, in this shot, in one shot they show his eyes open, and then the next shot they show his eyes looking down or closed. It's so funny. The editing was just wasn't really the greatest, but it was good enough. I'm a stickler for continuity, so I can see all these little things. I see these inconsistencies. I don't look for them, but I just happen to see them. Where most people are like, what are you talking about, Terrell? What are you talking about? Prue was so awesome, even without her powers. My god, she said computer discs. I remember using those floppy disks and everything. Now it's just flash drives, and we just transfer large files online. Oh, she's choking him with her powers. It's so funny when they do these shots of the sisters in like downtown San Francisco or on the streets, because it's really shot on a studio lot. Jeremy was good looking, but he just looked like a sleaze. He looked like a villain. Piper is so naive and so in love with being in love that she couldn't see the forest through the trees. He had an awful sweater on too. Oh, look at Phoebe riding her bike. Oh, her first premonition. This scene was so like stupid to me. Like, like she like used her bike to just roll in front of him or something. Look at that. I mean, that car was definitely not going to hit them anyway. And she ended up becoming the one getting injured, which is just so weird and wild. Also, the witch who died in the beginning, her cat is Kit, okay? I don't know if I ever caught that till now, okay. Oh, look at Prue. Dressed in all black like the Omen. Oh, their first meeting. It's fun watching this show like this in this format, adding commentary to it, because it encourages me to focus more on certain things that I might not have focused on before, like the fact that they met at a hospital. I don't know if I remember that. God, Ted and Shannon were so beautiful back then. They still are too, but they were really beautiful back then. Wow. He smells really nice too in real life. Just to let you know, he smells really good. When I was younger, when I was maybe around 16 or so, and I started to see like repeats of the first season of Charmed with Andy in it, like that's around the time when I knew I was gay. When I see guys like him, I was like, oh, I'm definitely gay. Definitely gay. Definitely. Most definitely. He's just like handsome and sexy and cute too. Almost looks a bit villain-esque, but in a good way. Like, he just looks like a bad boy who's a hero. I love a hero who just looks like a villain in a way, a handsome villain. I love how the show went out of their way to remind us that the series takes place in San Francisco. Prue's like, magic doesn't exist. I do not have special powers. And then the glass at the bar slides down toward her. Prue had the best power. Before Paige came along, anyway. Then Prue's like, I need a drink. Look at Prue. She just couldn't stand Phoebe for so many reasons. I think it went beyond the whole Roger thing. She's like, look, you turned me into a witch. I'm like, you were born that way. Phoebe's like, yeah, warlocks and bad witches just want to take the power of some other witches and whatnot. I'm like, there's some good warlocks out there. I may know a couple. There's some good witches out there too, not just the ones on TV. Wanda, she's still a hero to me in some way. I wonder if they shot this. I wonder if Jeremy and Piper shot this scene in an actual moving car or in a studio, because it looks very green screeny-esque with like a VR background. God, VFX have come so far. Oh, he wants to show you an abandoned building, like he's going to try to kill you. This is all a set too. I've been on sets as an extra. I've been on sets like this that are so elaborate. You'd swear it was shot in a real like pharmacy shop. Well, I'm looking at all these medical brands or all these product brands behind Prue. I'm like, I don't think any of those are real. They're all just props for the show because they don't want to give like free advertisements to these products. Instead of Advil, there's Xanax or Axid instead of Advil. Axid, and then Polident, and then a bottle of aspirin just says aspirin on it. Oh, Phoebe's talking about their father. She's just trying to get Prue all riled up. It was so easy too, because Prue kept so much inside. Oh, she's about to unleash the Dark Phoenix. Here she comes. Everything's gonna fly off the shelves. There we go. Oh wow, this is the first time Prue smiled in the show, in this episode. Well, first time she smiled in Phoebe's presence anyway. Yo, he's your new boyfriend, Piper, and he's taking you to an abandoned building, a warehouse. Like, he's going to try to kill you. Holly is such a great actress. Because again, I saw her in a Lifetime movie where she was this tough young woman who was trying to get her mom away from this abusive guy. But in here, she's like more meek and nervous and anxious. She has such range. Oh wow, look at his face. I'm guessing he didn't know what kind of powers Piper had. It's so funny. He has the power to create flames out of his fingers, but he's using an athame. I'm guessing the athame absorbs powers, but still, it's just... Can't you just like set Piper on fire and take her power that way? Oh, come on now. Instead of grabbing her foot, he could have just like stabbed her foot, you know, to kind of disable her a bit, so that in the event she does get away, she'd be limping, and so he'd have a greater chance of catching her. So he's all the way there. I bet you he gets back to their house in like a flash. I forgot if he teleports or if he just runs there. Oh, he said, I'll get you, bitch, and not witch. So funny they wasted the opportunity for him to just say witch. I love that bird's eye view that they do on this show a lot. It's just so cool. It's so Power 3-esque. I love how they're using like a real ritual. That's what Constance and Birds brought to the show. You would see when they're in the first 4 seasons, you see a lot of witchcraft, like real occult stuff happening, taking place, and it still had the show still had that dark undertone with, you know what I mean? And it was just great. And then after Constance left, it was just a bunch of fairy tale creatures, and it was so light and kind of comedic, and I still liked it for the most part, but I just missed this dark undertone, the drama, the seriousness, the richness that the show once possessed in seasons 1 through 4. Of course, Jeremy's on his way there. We have to end the show with him being set on fire in the attic with some horrible VFX. Of course, he's out the door as soon as Prue opens it up. Look how Prue's such a protector. She stands in front of her sisters. I'm so glad her powers grew, because she couldn't do much of anything back then in this first episode. I love how they made demons on the show in the first season. Like, they made them seem more like, not fairy tale demons, but just like, they kind of leaned into the idea of what we all believe a demon to be. Someone with a demonic voice. Someone who talks like this. Give me your power, witch, or I will end you. Like something like that. You know, they leaned into all of that, which I loved, but it was kind of cheesy too at the same time. You know, in the awful VFX compounded all that. It made it all look really campy, but it was still good because the story is good and the acting is good. The acting is great. Oh, here's the CGI fire. Power 3 will set us free. Power 3 will set us free. Power 3 will set us free. Oh, the confident spell. We are hell on this earth. His makeup looks great with all the cuts and whatnot. I love how the writers used him to let the sisters know that there are more demons to come. I love the way the camera looks up at them on the steps of their manor. Oh, look at Andy. He's like maybe 5'9" in person. I thought he'd be taller. But that's a good 5'9" though. Very good 5'9". She's like, my life is super complicated. I'm a witch now, so you know, I don't know if I'll be available Friday. I love the way the show is shot in these first 4 seasons. What is Piper wearing? I love this first episode. It was just so wholesome. It was a good start. Ooh, across the street from them is where the owners of the Charmed House live. Here's Prue. You're ready for the first time. Oh, I forgot she doesn't do it with her fingers in this first episode. She just does it with her eyes. Aaron Spelling, rest in peace. And E. Duke Vincent. I believe he's still alive. Such a great first episode. I think I said earlier in this, while doing this, I saw the first season sometime after the second season aired, like during repeats or over the summer, in between seasons 2 and 3, I think. I forget. But I was like, man, I can't believe I missed this entire first season of Charmed. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. So, and then years later, when it started to play on TNT, remember TNT? We know drama. It was great to see all the episodes. They would come on, like, Charmed would come on like twice a day, I believe, from like 8 o'clock in the morning to like noon, and then from like 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock or something. I mean, I was watching them all the time because we didn't have streaming services back then, so I was always watching Charmed all the time, and it was just great. My mother would come into my room and just shake her head because I was raised Christian, so she was against me watching shows about witches and stuff, but I had to let her know that these are good witches who use their powers for good, you know, not evil. And there's some evil witches in the show, but the Charmed ones take care of them. So what did you all think about this episode? Is there anything that I missed in there? Share your thoughts down below, and any kind of inside information you may know. If you learn more about the show, or if you worked on the show too, if you know anything about it, if you know some insider gossip and whatnot, I'd love to see it. I'd love to read about it, and I'm sure a lot of other fellow Charmed ones would love to read it too. So before I let you go and move on to the next video, I'd love to say thank you again for watching all this with me, and I'd love to again remind you to give me a thumbs up, like this video, and also subscribe to my channel and ring that bell too so that you can get notified whenever I post a new video. And if you'd like to support this channel, again, please do me a favor and click on the PayPal link in the description box below. I greatly appreciate whatever you decide to send. It all helps keeps this channel going and growing, so thank you very kindly. Now, just like certain witches fly on a broom, I want to remind you all to fly high and fly free. Be you, because everyone else is taken, or they're a demon. Alright, so now you can check out another magical video from me right now, and zoom, zap, bam,